organised this week.
Genius. I haven't watched it yet.
We're gonna skip that one.
That's for the next time.
Are you waiting till it's all out, or just?
No, I was gonna watch it when you mentioned it, but I forgot.
Yeah, it's good,
Yeah, a lot of people said it.
It's like, it's so weird to see like, just Kanye not be the biggest fucking thing in the world. Oh, that too. I mean, he is still kind of that a little bit, but you know what? Just to, I don't know, to where he, because it starts and like everyone considers him a producer, innit? So it's just interesting to see people be like, Kanye West rapping. What?
Yeah. What a concept.
But yeah, I think I don't watch like a ton of documentaries, so I can't really compare it.
Have you seen a Travis Scott one on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
That's quite good.
Yeah, I've seen like the clips from it, like the one where he hits sicko mode. I've seen that. That's where that's from, isn't it?
What's it? Is it No Bystanders? They're like by the pool.
Yeah,
and
that.
They start jumping about.
But there's the sicko mode one where they're all stood in like a circle because it's like, damn, this is like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it's when Drake sends.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll cross Genius off the list.
Yeah, yet to be viewed. When does the second part come out?
I think it's weekly. I think they're weekly for the next 3 weeks, isn't it? Because it's a trilogy, I believe. I don't know when it goes up to either, because I don't know why. I kind of thought it would go further than it did, because when part 1 finishes, like he's not even got a College Dropout.
Oh, it literally is when he's still producing.
Yeah, it like goes up to when he gets signed. Part 1.
Yeah.
Whereas I just assumed it would be like his whole, because it starts in 2021, one of those where he's doing the presidential run thing. So I just assumed like it would go through his whole career. Whereas I don't know if this is going to sort of just be the start of his career up to like 808s maybe.
Unless each part is like a massively different time.
Maybe. I'm not sure though, because they kind of... I couldn't work out if it was the next time or they were jumping forwards at the end, because they show like when he breaks his jaw in the car accident.
Oh, really?
But they like don't go into it. So I don't know if that was a sort of, this is what the next part's going to be about, or if it's just sort of like rushing us ahead so we can get past that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite good. I recommend it.
I saw a lot of people saying it's kind of changed their perspective. A couple of people were saying if it came out a few weeks ago, it might have pushed him back in a positive.
Yeah, I saw that tweet as well. I mean, probably because like he's still like yay. You know what I mean? Like he's not a totally different personality, but he is a lot more like just human, I guess. I don't know, because now it's like Kanye West, and I don't know, man. The scenes with his mum are just so like, they do so much to like humanize her, because like I've always heard like how important she was to his life and that, it's his mum obviously, but I've never like seen them interact. I've only ever known her through like the couple of songs he has about her, and obviously on Donda we got a few snippets.
Yeah.
But like it just seeing her as like a living, breathing person interacting with everyone is mad. Like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing, you know what I mean? Because like you don't know these people.
Yeah. Well, when you see like old footage of him, he comes across like completely the opposite. He's like shy.
Yeah.
He's very like, when he talks, he like looks down, and there was always an arrogance, but he seemed quite.
It's more like
his demeanor.
He feels like he's not being taken seriously enough, rather than like being
what he is now. Takes himself too seriously.
Yeah. How do you feel about the Cuddy stuff? Because
I mean, I personally thought it was a bit of like a joke, really.
yeah,
Like how I don't know. It's number one, him calling out because the whole Billie Eilish.
Yeah, that was weird.
Because at the end of the day, like, it seemed like there was definitely shade towards Travis, because she came out and said she didn't even mention him, which like is true, but
yeah, but like
you don't say that statement unless you are.
If she'd just said I want everyone at my show to be safe, that's one thing. But she did say like
she said, unlike, what was the actual quote?
It was something along the lines of at my concerts we make sure everyone's
before continuing,
like yeah,
which is like I get you didn't name drop him, which is fine. But you were definitely sending shade. But that also doesn't justify him.
Yeah, of course.
Calling her out like I'm not doing Coachella. Like,
yeah, and then obviously it just like escalated with Cudi and that, and I don't know, man. I hate
ridiculous
Kanye fanboys. Did you see them turn on Cudi?
They're like, oh, it's Kanye against everyone. Like, it's.
Bro, but like. I saw so many Kanye stands like slagging Kid Cudi's music, and I was like, bro, how do you do that? I
don't know. It was a joke to me. When I saw it, I was like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, same.
It's just why? What?
It's just the way he is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's only a matter of time for him and Drake fall out again.
Probably
not.
Like, but the thing is, him doing all this stuff, Drake's always been someone who stays away from people that make headlines for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, definitely.
So the fact that Kanye is kind of doing all this stuff again, and he's in the news and that for the wrong reasons, I think Drake will already distance himself.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I agree for sure. Like,
it seems volatile.
Yeah, because I mean, even earlier in his career, Drake doesn't really collaborate and associate with Kanye as much as you would expect. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's always been that distance between them, partly because of like ego and that, but also I think because of what you said, like Drake really tries to avoid being associated with.
It's about publicity.
Yeah,
he just stays away from.
Yeah, I mean, like look at Tory. Like they were so tight, and then like if they are now, we don't see it anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Drake's very careful with the image he has. And doesn't Drake like know Billie Eilish as well, I think?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because she mentioned before that they were close.
Yeah, so you know what I mean, like it's just a messy situation, and where Drake's just fixed things with Cudi, you know, I'm sure he doesn't want to it's long. I don't want to like get into like the gossip and that. It's just like it's a shame to see.
It's just disappointing.
Yeah, like seeing that Cudi's not going to be on Donda 2 is just like
and then it's like it's going to be that period again between like Fantasy and JEEN-YUHS where they just didn't work together. It's just a shame because they're, as far as like collaborators go, like for me they are up there.
If you hear background noise, there is a storm raging outside.
Shout out Eunice.
So
run it back to her.
Apologies if that is fucking up the audio at all. Yeah, it's quite mad. But you know, we're so dedicated to the podcast. We're here anyway.
Pushing P.
But I suppose we might as well use that to segue into how do you feel about the whole Donda 2 only on stem player thing?
First
of all, do you believe it?
I don't know. I don't know what I believe with that man. Like,
this is
he
the
comes
thing.
out with so many things. It's just
like when I was talking to a couple of people about it, I was like, I'm sure a version of Donda 2 will be exclusive to the stem player.
Definitely, yeah.
But will the album be exclusive? I don't know.
I wouldn't. This is the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, but I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. It's just it can go either way.
Yeah.
If it is genuinely only on the stem player, like I don't know. For me, that's a major L.
Yeah.
It's just who's gonna. Don't get me wrong. His fan base is so big, it'll make it where the album will still do well.
Of course.
But it's just for people like me. Like I'm not gonna drop £200.
Yeah, I don't even know if we can get the stem player over here.
I'm not sure.
Not actually sure.
Yeah, I don't know if it ships, but it's just. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously Pablo was originally a Tidal exclusive.
But that is different.
So there is like precedent for him doing stuff like this.
But that is very different.
It is very different. I'm just saying, like, where you're saying, like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, yeah, same in a way, because he has already kind of... And he's always like... You know, Pablo's one of the first albums where it got, like, patched after release, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
You know, where he's like, this is a living, breathing...
Yeah, it kind of evolved.
Yeah, so... You know, I could see him doing something on the stem player. I'll admit, partly, I don't even fully get what the stem player is.
It looks quite cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
It basically isolates vocals and instrumentals.
But I don't know, is it like an iPod where you upload music to it?
You can upload.
Oh, okay.
And individual stems. Like, I'm not going to pretend like I know 100%.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I didn't even entirely get what a stem player is. You know what I mean? Like, as I said, I was kind of like, so is it a bit like an iPod?
Well,
or is it a...
The thing you were saying about how he's done it before, even when the stem player first released, a few of the bonus tracks from Donda, if I'm not mistaken, were on the stem player.
I think you're right. Wasn't Never Abandon Your Family? Or
a few of them was. I'm pretty sure a few was only on... At first, they were just on the stem player.
Now you mention it.
So it would makes... Well, it makes even more sense that you could do it.
As you said, I think it's just kind of a shame. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, definitely.
The fewer people that can experience your art, like...
Yeah, because I understand the whole argument with Spotify, because, I mean, a lot of our artists have spoken out about the rates that they pay. I get the what he's trying to say regarding streaming.
Yeah.
Putting music out, but I just think there's better ways to do it.
Yeah, and like, it's weird that he made such a big deal out of leaving Tidal to like put Pablo everywhere, and then it's now like, oh, I don't like how... But you know, Kanye's one of those people, like, you can't really take stock in anything he's ever said.
It changes on a daily basis.
Exactly. So yeah, at the end of the day, as I said, I'm not even 100% sure that it will only be on stem player, like maybe to begin with or something. Or
most definitely. I reckon give it a few months.
The cynical way of looking at this is probably like, oh, it's just a stunt to sell some stem players,
which it probably is.
Yeah,
like he even posted
the sales
of the stem player, and it did like skyrocket. So in a way, this is the thing, because he can do like the most stupidest thing, but where his fans ride for him so hard, people say marketing genius. Like,
literally,
because either way, it's long term, it's probably a stupid decision. But where so many of his fans jumped on it and have bought stem players now, people are going, marketing genius.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just one of them things.
And he is good at like using like headlines and controversy to sell anything. It's
like, where do you draw the line? Because I've seen a few fans saying, all of this lately, the publicity, it's genius. Because it's hyping Donda 2. Donda 2 is going to do numbers. People are going to listen to it just because of the headlines. Which, like, is true to an extent, but I don't know.
For me, like, it's weird. Like, it really depends on what it is, because some of it just does make me sick of, like, hearing about Kanye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh my god, what is he doing? Like the Cuddy thing, like everything like that. It's just like, bro, what are we doing?
I know, man. Did you see the some of the memes he was posting? Well, like the fan pics where it's like Civil War.
I was like, because why was Taylor Swift in that?
Yeah, he brought her back. Cuddy was on the other side.
Yeah, but I was like, what is happening?
And he put Drake on. Yeah. Drake was on Team Kanye.
I was like, huh?
That's like, no, Drake ain't riding for you.
Yeah, he's just like,
get that straight.
Maybe in the text it's like, yeah, man, go off or something. Yeah, but that's it.
He probably just puts like, you know, the emoji of the hands.
Yeah.
He's like, or fire.
The prayer hands. Yeah. The prayer hands.
Just no words.
Yeah, just the 6 emoji. Yeah, I don't know, man. So I feel we should move on though, so we don't end up being a Kanye podcast. I mean, I haven't even introduced the podcast. If you're new here, hello. This is Don't Start, a podcast. I'm Ben,
Aaron,
and
we're back again.
Yeah, we're We're back for our second episode. The storm, it's trying to fight us off, but we're gonna persevere for the people. Wherever you're listening to this, please give us a follow or a subscribe or a like. You know, whatever service you're on. We are on most major podcast networks.
We will also be on the STEM Player.
The first STEM Player exclusive podcast.
Yeah. So catch us on there.
The next episode is actually STEM Player exclusive. So I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna miss out. But we're doing one part and one part only. But yeah, how's your week been? I haven't seen you since we went out to do market research for the podcast last episode. Standard really. That's good. That's good. How was you have a good Monday? What about you guys? Do you have a good Monday? I actually listened to that new Pusha T track.
Right, that Coke.
Yeah. I came prepared. I was like, what from the last podcast do we need to follow up on? It was good. I don't know. You said people calling it like mid and that.
A few people I saw, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was good. Like it wasn't like the best Pusha T song I've ever heard in my life or anything, but I thought it slapped. I thought it was
good. Yeah.
Cool vibe. Did you listen to the new Future song that dropped?
I didn't know. What was it? A single?
Yeah, Worst Day.
No, I haven't listened to it. No. Good.
Yeah, man. You know, Future. He can't miss.
Back in his bag.
Yeah. He's back. I actually wrote the lyrics because I was like, if Aaron doesn't know what it's about.
Yeah, go on. Hit me with it.
He goes, when you got more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bitches, Valentine's Day, the worst day, when you're rich. He doesn't say... There's another word in there I can't say, but yeah. Well, basically, that's the gist of it. So, you know, he's... I
think he's spitting ice cold facts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually glad he brought this... this topic forward, because I didn't know, I'm not rich, so I can't relate to this problem.
But you can't relate to the...
Oh, no.
4, 5, 6 bitches.
No. Neither that. They almost got me. But yeah, I think it's good of him to speak on the issues in his life,
Yeah, Future's goated, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know if this is off like an album or what, but he just sort of dropped a single.
He's due an album though.
He is,
or
yeah.
Tape or anything really.
I was gonna say normally he's quite regular with releases. There's sort of every year or so, sometimes more than one.
He hasn't dropped an album for what? 2
years. Because he did Half-Life, and I think that doesn't the Uzi tape come out then as well?
Oh yes, yeah, you're correct. Yeah,
but they are the same year definitely. So he didn't drop anything last year.
No.
So yeah, I'm quite excited if he's in his tricking bag. I saw it. Did you see Kanye saying that Future was actually quoting Donda 2 in his recent post?
Oh really?
Yeah, because he put up a post that was like send a 1,000 not flowers or something like that, and I was like, oh, that's a very Future line. Yeah. And then Kanye like screenshotted it and put it up and was like, oh yeah, Future quoting Donda 2. I was like, oh okay.
That's 1,000% about Kim.
Send her 1,000.
I'm so worried that Donda 2 is just gonna be like just him.
I have no boundaries.
Kim. Yeah. He's just gonna be hating.
Yeah, I mean, hey. Well, let's see. I mean, Fantasy was basically just about Amber Rose, so
Yeah,
maybe
it just depends how you channel it.
Yeah,
I guess. So,
but yeah, I'm excited if Future has a new project coming out or whatever. He's kind of been quiet a while, so
he has been. Yeah. Did you listen to the new 5EO?
No, I haven't actually.
Track?
With
Alicia Keys.
Kanye and Alicia Keys, isn't it? Is Kanye on it or just producing?
No, he's on it. Yeah.
Oh, he is actually on it because I saw the 3 of them in the video.
It's quite a good verse.
Oh, really?
Opinion, yeah. It's kind of like the opposite of Off the Grid, where he has the great verse.
Okay.
Fabio kind of takes a backseat.
Yeah, I had like the hook with Alicia Keys on it. It sounded quite cool.
It's like on a drill type beat as well. Same as Off the Grid.
I mean, that is what Fabio. I don't know.
I think it's Fabio, because in the Fabio phone, I believe.
I mean, he is a drill artist, right?
A lot of the songs, yeah.
I've only heard him on drill beats. I was gonna say, so I just assumed that's because he's the one that's originally on Dark Lane, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's cool, man. Whenever he's popped up, I mean, I've only heard like those 2 songs. So
Off the Grid, his verse.
I was gonna say Off the Grid, and I like him. He's on Demons, isn't he?
Yeah. Fabio, I'm gonna.
I quite like that verse as well. So
yeah.
I'll have to give that a listen.
I think that's it's a single from his upcoming project.
Oh, sick!
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll have some names on there. You know, he's already got Kanye and Alicia Keys on the lead single. Then I won't be surprised if he has like a Drake on there as well.
Yeah,
because Drake loves to do like, you do a feature for me, I'll do a feature for you.
Yeah,
and you know, Drake's really in his drill.
He wasn't on Lovable, was he? Fabio.
No, because it's there's no one really drilly on there at all. You know, closest we get is like Knife Talk. Yes. Yeah. It's probably like the hardest rap song on there. Because apart from that, it's like Rick Ross and
Jay-Z.
Yeah, Jay-Z.
Just a casual Jay-Z.
Yeah, just casually thrown in there. I'll give that a listen.
I recommend it.
So, do you want to get to the sort of main topic that
Let's do it.
I sort of have at the top of the list here, which is for those of you that don't know, I think literally it must have been because we didn't talk about it on the last pod. If you go to watch Daredevil or any of the Defenders shows, if you would subject yourself to any of the others, it pops up with a message saying that they're leaving, I think on the 28th.
Yeah, they're all going off Netflix.
And so far, like, I haven't heard a word about where they're going. How do you feel about that?
I don't know, because the thing is, I just don't trust Disney / Marvel with any of the characters, really. I don't know why Netflix are taking them off, because one of the articles I read said they had no obligation to. Like, apparently it was from their side.
Interesting, because I assumed it was the other way around.
What the article I read, apparently it was from their side.
That's so interesting, because the interpretation, I feel like there's 3 ways of looking at it, right? You're either optimistic, neutral, or pessimistic towards it. And you know, the optimistic thing is like, they're taking them off, they're gonna put them on like Hulu overseas or Star here, and we're gonna get like follow-ons. You know what I mean? We'll actually get like Daredevil season 4 or something, so that people don't have to jump between streaming networks to watch them. That's the very optimistic way of looking at it. The neutral is just like, I assumed like Disney just wanted the traffic. You know what I mean? They wanted people to watch it on their streaming service, so they were sort of bringing it over to wherever they put it. And I feel like the pessimistic way is that like they want to like bury the shows.
Which there's a good chance it could be that, especially if they're gonna do like a soft reboot.
But because it is so interesting that it's Netflix, because after No Way Home and Hawkeye, I saw that Daredevil was like trending like way up from wherever it was being watched to like, I think it was in their top 10.
Well, it made me go back and watch season 3.
Yeah, I mean,
before,
same.
So
I just think it's interesting they get all that because that's what made me assume it was Disney, because I went, they looked at the traffic it was getting and were like, oh hell no. Like,
it's weird, because number one, would Disney have the power to? Because surely, I mean, the shows were written, produced all by Netflix.
Yeah,
right? It was a partnership, but Netflix produced the shows.
That's the thing.
So would Disney have the power to take down shows that technically?
I don't know, because we do know the rights like for the characters. I don't know about the shows, but like they reverted back to Disney, so I don't know if that also gave them like some
It could have.
You know, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know the legal of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. The timing is so weird that, like, just as it felt like the shows are kind of bouncing back, that all of a sudden, whoever it is just like, nah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what Disney plans to do.
I was going to say, what is your perspective where you're saying you don't trust Disney? Do you, of those kind of three options, which do you think is most likely? Because I personally, I think the most likely is just it'll be neutral, where they just put it on Star or over here, or as I said, Hulu in America or whatever.
If just based on the timing and the fact that they've introduced Matt Kingpin into the MCU, I feel like it might be a case of taking them off to kind of brush them under the carpet, so they can then do like their own version of the shows.
Yeah,
a soft reboot.
Yeah,
is what it seems like it would be.
But it does all come down to who is. If it is Netflix's decision, it could literally just be petty. Like, but that's so weird because Disney aren't making money off the. Or maybe they're probably getting a percentage. You know what I mean? But it's not like there is a Daredevil show out competing with this one.
No, and the thing is,
sort of feels like that cutting off your nose to spite your face type thing. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, this highly successful show, we're going to take it off our network.
Which is weird because I think a good majority of people agree that all 3 seasons of Daredevil are pretty high quality in terms of comic book adaptations. So the fact that they've taken them off, surely that'll just hurt them with subscriptions, because there must be a certain amount of people that buy Netflix just to watch the Marvel shows.
Well,
or at least started that way.
And in general, like, it is a lot of shows to lose. You know, obviously we're focusing around Daredevil because it's the best one, but Jessica Jones, Luke Cage,
which
do have their fans.
And Jessica Jones, that's another 3 season show.
Yeah, and Luke Cage got 2, I think. I mean, Punisher, obviously, was big. You know, that in effect you're losing like 6 shows and probably like triple that in seasons. You know, most of them at least got a season 2. So from a numbers perspective, it just seems weird to be like, all this content is got, because Netflix don't have that many original shows. Like, obviously they buy the rights to a lot of shows, but actual self-made, created by Netflix, it's weird to like remove so many out of your catalog when it's not like there's a million.
Well, that's the thing. Daredevil is one of the best shows on Netflix, so
definitely
it is. Again, it's not like they've just, if they just took off fucking Iron Fist and Luke Cage, no one would really care. Like,
I was going to say, like, if they got rid of it, I mean, even if they got rid of everything but Daredevil, I don't think there'll be that much outcry.
Yeah.
You know, as I said, it's just such a. I hate business, man. Like, I hate corporations. All of it, like, it's just so like petty.
It's Disney.
Whoever's doing it, like if it's Netflix doing it to Disney, if it's Disney doing it to whoever it is, it's just so like, come on, man. Like, I am paying you a subscription to watch these shows at the end of the day.
But then it's just Disney's whole model was, we're gonna make our own service and we are gonna make sure you can't have our products on there.
Yeah, literally.
That's pretty much what it was. Yeah. So
well, and the whole like rollout of Disney Plus in general has been so weird. Like, just obviously the pandemic affected the release date of everything, but just like, man, it had like no content when it launched. If you weren't a fan of like Simpsons reruns or
Disney
like
classics,
like all of which are like very readily available. You know what I mean? Like,
even Star Wars.
Yeah,
it's not exactly hard to watch Star Wars, is it?
You know what I mean? Like, okay, on a streaming service, but if you put a gun to my head and made me like get rid of a streaming service, it probably would be Disney Plus. If I had to like be like, I don't want to have it, because it just doesn't have that much content comparatively to like a Netflix or Prime.
Well, yeah, and I think the thing that weighs it down is Netflix is basically a catalog for all films, whereas Disney is the catalog of Disney stuff that is owned by Disney. So that they kind of already have a limit. Stars, they've tried to like.
I was going to say that the Fox merger definitely gave them more like options. But even then, like, I find it so weird the movies they do and don't have on there. Like, I don't think they have all the Alien movies on there. I don't think they have all the Predator movies on there. It's just so weird. Like, why choose? Why is it like, if you have it, just put on there? You know, it's like they're trying to like curate it, where it's like, this is only available this long, and it's like, why?
Subscriptions.
Yeah.
They want people to. I
mean, this is why we're getting like all the Pixar movies going straight to Disney Plus. Because people are like, oh, it's because of the pandemic, and it's like, please, like Disney have released like so many things in theaters. Let's not pretend that like all of a sudden they care deeply about like, oh no, the pandemic, man. Like, it's just like, which of these things is probably gonna make less money in the cinema and more money for us in terms of subscriptions? Because you know what I mean, it sounds good to be like, the latest Pixar movie is exclusively on Disney Plus.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas you wouldn't do that. Like, the next Marvel movie makes too much money to put not in the cinema,
and they would never do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
so that's sort of the weird thing with Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Black Widow, where there was that whole thing with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, and originally they were going to release Shang-Chi that way as well, I think, if Scarlett Johansson hadn't sued them.
Yeah, I feel like the streaming services, they are getting a bit out of hand.
Oh yeah, there's way too many, and we have less here than in America.
Yeah, because obviously we don't have
HBO Max, we don't have Hulu. We don't have. There's another one as well that we don't have. Like, there's just so many where I'm like, what?
Is there a Paramount one now?
Yeah, Paramount Plus, which they're talking about doing over here. And it's just like, God,
it's too much, man.
Like, the appeal of streaming was like, it's cheaper than like a Skybox or whatever.
Well, yeah, it's like you pay £8 to get tons of stuff, but now it's like, if you want all the stuff that you like, you're paying £8 across like 4 or 5 different things.
Which is where the like original shows are so like integral now, which is why I just think it's mad. If it was Netflix's decision, they went, let's get rid of some of our original content, because nobody watches Daredevil and goes, let me buy a Disney Plus subscription.
No, of course,
because they know like it won't be on there. You know, they don't make that kind of content. So it just seems weird that Netflix are the ones that were like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Business.
It's the other thing I found interesting was Stranger Things is being split up.
Yes.
Into 2 parts.
Which is, it's become more and more common, because they've done that with the last season of Ozark as well. Only part 1 of it's out at the moment. But yeah, like, Stranger Things is so weird, because like, it's been so long since season 3, which obviously like the pandemic fucked things up for everyone, but like,
when was season 3? Was it 2019?
Yeah, 2020? I think it's 2019. I don't think it was at all during the pandemic. Yeah, because I was at work and people were talking about it, and it wasn't like we were masked up and everything.
It must have been just before.
Pandemic. Yeah, I think it was like summer 2019. Because remember, it was like, it's the summer in the series, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I'm excited that they've gone like, this is it. Like, we've got a story to tell. This is the complete story. You know, I'd rather that than fucking dragging something on for 8, 9, 10 seasons.
Because there's another season.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like 2 parts and then another season. And the 2-part season is longer, I think.
Oh, it is.
From the way they described it, they said it's... Pardon me, they said it's like longer than season 3 doubled, I think. Like, length of time. And obviously season 3 ended with like a feature movie. That last episode is like an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that just means each episode is going to be like 2 hours long or something, or if it will be like numerically more episodes.
I wonder if there'll be a time skip between part 1 and 2.
Maybe. Yeah, I wonder, like, what is it? Just a like pandemic fucked up our shooting schedule, or is it? Yeah, like you said, a time skip.
Because like they are like the actors,
they're getting
like, it's getting noticeable.
Yeah, definitely. Like even seeing like Finn Wolfhard in like, I assume it's a wig to make him look like he just don't look that young anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He looks like he's approaching the end of his team.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I do really enjoy Stranger Things, so I'm excited to see where it goes. I don't agree with the people that like season 3 killed it. At all.
I thought season 3 was.
I think it's the best season, personally.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Like I like season 1 a lot, but
season 1 is great, but it mainly hinges on mystery.
Yeah, I feel like the second time around when I rewatched it, it was definitely like. It's enjoyable. Like I like the characters, but so much of it is like, oh, what's going on?
At the time, it was fresh. It was and the mystery was so strong. But it's one of them things. There's a couple of films like it where once you know the mystery, you can never have the same experience.
Yeah, like
so it's
definitely. And I think that's why I enjoy 3 more, because it's like we've set up the characters. They've been on like journeys and that. Now we can just sort of dive into them a bit more. Like even characters I didn't really think were that interesting. Like, is it Billy, the dickhead?
Yeah.
Like the season made him interesting. You know what I mean? Like just seeing like his life and why he is the way he is. Like there was some really strong writing in there.
Yeah. I
agree with a couple of the complaints. Like Hopper is like a different character in season 3 than season 1. Like I get it. But it doesn't really bother me. Like I still enjoy him. David Harbour's a good actor, and like him and have I forgotten her name? Thingy scenes.
What, 11?
No. The mum. Can't think of her name.
Yeah,
Will's mum.
Yeah.
Like I loved all of their scenes together. I thought they were a really strong duo. And yeah, I don't know, like people were like, it's so cartoony season 3, and I was like, Stranger Things was never like real.
Yeah, I it is very over the top, but I think that is a positive point for the season.
Because especially like Stranger Things has always been set in the 80s, but it's like the vibe of the 80s.
Yeah.
So I think making it more exaggerated is just being like more honest with what the show is. Like it's not a realistic depiction of the 80s. It's like the 80s through like Spielberg movies and Stephen King novels and all their influences. Like literally. It's not like the 80s.
It is like a spiritual successor to some of those 80s films, classic 80s films.
Definitely.
And I think it's aware of that. It's self-aware of that.
That's what I'm saying. That for me is why season 3 worked, because it felt like they really were. I mean, all the seasons have been good at that. Like
well, it's like when you look at season 1 with the Demogorgon, it's basically the first Alien film. Yeah, it's like there's one of them. It's strong. It hunts them for the whole season. Second season, you've got tons of mini.
Yeah.
Which is basically aliens.
Yeah,
they're weaker. There's more of them. Like
definitely,
they've kind of been using those gropes from old
films
from the start.
Definitely.
It's never been like the most realistic show. Like it's literally about alternate dimensions.
But I mean, even if like you take that stuff out and just focus on like the human stuff, like it's not really looking at the 80s as a setting. You know, I mean, it's all the visuals.
Yeah.
Like if you set it in any other decade, it would just change the aesthetics, really. Like very little else. Like the plot doesn't hinge on like
being
it's
in
the 80s. Yeah. Like obviously you'd have to change plot points to that, but ironically, season 3 it being the Soviets is the most like 80s thing about it, really.
The mall as well. The whole
exactly.
On that
like
coming about.
That's a very 80s thing. So yeah, as I said, I really enjoyed season 3, and I'm excited to see where they go.
It has been a while.
Joyce, that's the mum's name.
Joyce Byers.
Joyce Byers.
I haven't got a second name for you now.
We've got it. We've got on. This is why people tune into us, because they just like cutting
knowledge.
But yeah, no, I'm interested to see where they go with it and how, like, because they're hyping up as like the beginning of the end, how much it's gonna be like set up for a finale or just like another season. You know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see where they go with it all.
Yeah. Did you see the posters?
I saw some of them. I saw the one in the Soviet Union.
Yeah, with Hopper.
Yeah, Hopper, and it looked like Joyce and the bald guy. You know, the like conspiracy theorist from season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
It looked like it was them three. And I saw one where it was like California.
Yeah, and then one was like it was like looked like it was in the basement of a lab.
Oh, sick.
I think there was 4 posters.
Oh, and I saw the one where it's like the kids, and it was the ginger girl like looking back, because everyone was saying like, "Oh no, is that a bad sign?" Because in all the old posters, it's Will looking back, and obviously he's the one that gets grabbed. So people were like, "Oh shit, is this like a sign that it's going to be more about her?" And like,
could be cool. The whole stuff, the fallout from Billy's death.
Yeah, I was going to say
cool.
she was a really cool character. So if we get more time with her, and like Will needed to not be like the victim.
Yeah,
I think that was the best decision season 3 made.
Well, because they had 2 seasons of it.
Yeah,
and you get away with it the second season because it makes sense. Like, there might be something lingering.
Yeah, there's like residual, and they set up in season 1 in it where he like throws up the slugs.
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense.
It was
and like
there.
in season 1, he's missing. You know, in season 2, whilst he's fucked up, like we still spend time with him and get to know him a bit more. So already they weren't just doing this. It's not like he's in a coma the whole season or something. And he's a really good actor. Like I really like that scene in season 3 where he's like really upset because they all have like girlfriends.
Oh yeah, he's like, kind of just by himself.
Yeah, like he's a really good actor. I mean, they all they're lucky. Like they got so many
It's
like talented for how young they are.
Yeah.
Or were, should I say? But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about
Stranger Things season 4. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
We'll finish it with that.
And it's quite soon, isn't it?
Yeah, is it? I'm gonna say May.
I was gonna say I think it was quite soon. Kind of keeping on the same thing. I finished The Boys recently.
Oh no way.
Yeah. I've started Invincible. I've not finished it yet. I've still got a couple episodes to go. The Boys is really good, man.
It's great. Yeah. It's
like I kind of held off it because I was a bit like, is it just gonna be like edgy for the sake of being edgy, sort of thing?
Which I think it kind of is. But
it is at points.
It's kind of aware of it. It's like the character of the butcher. He is that.
Billy.
He kind of embodies it. Where it's some of the stuff he says, it's like you know the writers knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
With his character.
But I feel they do a good job of always having like Huey or someone else like look at him like what?
Yeah. Like he is over the top.
Yeah.
In a good way though.
I was gonna say it fits. Like the world is over the top.
Yeah.
I think season 2 is definitely stronger than season 1 though.
Yeah, I like season 2.
I feel like I haven't read the comic, but just the vibe of it, I feel like they stuck very close to it in season 1 compared to season 2, because I know the comics from like the 2000s, and season 1, like with the stuff it's parodying and that, like at times it does feel very like almost out of date, where it's like, man, politics and everything you're making fun of have changed so much from the 2000s, whereas season 2 is like so current. Like everything with Stormfront feels like
I love her whole storyline.
Yeah.
She's just a fucking undercover nut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that line she has where she's like, people like what I have to say, they just don't like the word Nazi. I was like, man, that's some good writing.
It's
like,
spot on as well though.
Yeah. And I just love the scene where all the superhero women beat the shit out of
her. Yeah. Oh, it's Quan.
Yeah. Oh, the whole thing. Yeah, she was great. Like whoever played her did a great job. Because when she showed up, I was sort of like, I was a bit worried she was going to be like a double beat of Homelander. It's just like, oh, here's another superpowered person that's like...
but they kind of bounce off each other.
Yeah, I was going to say, when they like hook up, like they really do work together.
Yeah, and it's just... Homelander, he's a great character.
Yeah, he's so good in the show.
Is it season 2 where he finds the sun?
He finds him at the very end of season one.
And then
and
he's like,
season 2 he keeps dropping by,
and he casually just pushes him off the roof.
Yeah. It's like a funny show as well. Like, so much of it like actually like has me laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is the thing. Sometimes I feel like when people talk about it, they undersell it a bit. They're like, oh, because it's like gritty and edgy, innit? Like, and it's like, no, but it is like a dark comedy. Like, it is really funny. It's like when they fucking, when the Deep brings the whale out and Billy just fucking drives into it. Like, everything with Billy is like a mixture of like hilarious and like fucking heartbreaking. I was so surprised they killed off his wife at the end of season 2. I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
like,
that surprised me as well. That whole ending bit where they're in the woods.
Yeah.
With Homelander, him, the son.
Yeah.
That was all great. But going off the point you made earlier about how it's very accurate, it's the Deep. He's very accurate to like, you know, people that have been shot in the media.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to casually build his name.
I was going to say they just bounce back with
after
like
all the scandals.
Fucking random woman that's like, yeah, no, he's a changed person.
Yeah,
and it's just supposed to be like, yeah,
fresh trim that comes through.
Literally. How did you feel about like the twist at the end that like the senator is like the person that's blowing people's heads up? Because I wasn't sure how I feel. I need to wait for season 3 to see where they go with that, because I was a bit like, felt like a twist for the sake of being a twist.
It did come out of nowhere. I didn't expect it. I'm kind of in the same boat as you.
Yeah, like it really depends where they take it.
Yeah, it could land. It could land well, or it could just.
Yeah, and I mean I'm excited because it seems to imply that like Edgar's going to be like the main focus of season 3, right? Because he's like working with her. So, I think that's man. If you've got Gustavo Fring, like, use him.
Oh, man. Everything he's in, he's great in.
Yeah, because he's in Mandalorian, isn't he?
And he's great in that.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously I've not watched it, but, you know, Gus is like an all-time great, just like villain.
Yeah, great villain.
So yeah, when he showed up, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he was in this. Yeah. Because they kept talking about Mr. Edgar, and I was like, oh, who's this guy? And then, yeah, he shows up in, like, the finale of season 1, and I was like, oh, crap.
Gustavo Fring.
It's that big bad. But, yeah, Invincible is great as well. I think I like it more.
I love Invincible. Invincible is great.
Like, episode 1 is just, like, perfect. Like, the way it, like, it's like a normal show.
Yeah. And
it, like, ends, and then, like, you just see Omni-Man like fuck everyone up, and it like just gets super violent.
It's very similar to The Boys in the sense that it kind of takes all of the superhero cliches and it doesn't really spoof them like The Boys does, but
it honestly, like, Invincible might be the most comic accurate thing I've ever seen. Not in the sense I haven't read Invincible, so I don't know plot wise. I just mean like the vibe.
Yeah, this what I'm trying to say though. It's like the cliche where they're in high school. You got the undercover superhero who meets the girl, and the girl is secretly a superhero. His dad is the main hero. I don't know. It all felt very
because The Boys, when it's at its weakest, it feels like just like poking fun at a thing without like really giving, like, just being like, superheroes are dumb, you know, when it's at its weakest, like, which isn't often. But Invincible feels like someone that like loves superhero comics, just made like, as you say, it's not parody, it's more just like a bit more self-aware, like with a bit of an edge, like not in a ridiculously like over the top like gratuitous way. Like, yeah, it is very violent, but I think for the story they're telling, it needs to be.
It works, yeah.
And I also wonder if part of the reason every time I watch it, I'm like, this is just like a comic book, is like, I think animation is just a good medium for comics.
I think it works very well, yeah.
I had the same thing when Spider-Verse came out. I was like, all of our fucking superhero movies should be this. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just live action always has the issue of, will it look good on screen?
Exactly.
There's certain limits that you can't do with live action.
And like, kind of with The Boys, especially at times, when you and I briefly talked about, you mentioned this, where it's like a little bit low budget at times. You know what I mean? Some things you're like, you couldn't quite pull that off to like the extent you probably wanted to.
I like going back to Invincible. The animation is great.
Yeah, it's so weird that like some of it is amazing. Other bits, I'm just like, ooh, that's a bit rough. Like some of the flying stuff, it literally looks like clip art going along.
Yeah.
But what like the important scenes are so well done.
All the major battles.
Yeah, like Omni-Man versus the Justice League, the Freedom Force or something.
Yeah.
Wherever they are, like that whole fight sequence is just great, and seeing like all their powers like interact. You know, it doesn't have that limit in live action where it's like, okay, so we need to CGI this, and you know, this actor wasn't looking the right way, so like you know, sometimes you see it where you're like,
the costume isn't accurate.
Yeah,
it doesn't look good on screen. You kind of don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, exactly.
In animation,
and like the voice cast is great in Invincible. Everyone is so good.
Yeah.
And I love how just like Invincible just goes for it. You know what I mean? It's like, here's a demon detective that just shows up. Like, no explanation. We don't need like he's great.
Yeah. But again, it goes back to the whole, it's so, like you were saying, it's so comic-y. Yeah. Or like the scene where how far in are you?
I'm up to where he went to Mars and came back.
Have you done the bit where he like goes to the bit where you sign up to be a hero and it's like the training?
Oh yeah. We just had that.
Even that is very cliche.
Yeah,
like comic books. You got everyone signing up, and it's like, it's kind of like the X-Men and stuff like that.
Yeah. I get what you mean, and even just stuff like the Mars thing, where it's just like he just goes to Mars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this episode we go to Mars. So like reading older comics where it's like it was just like this episode or this issue we're doing this, and like that's the like gimmick for the episode, which I I just think it's so fun, and I love that it was as successful as it was.
And the other thing is, considering it's animation, a lot of the episodes, most of the episodes are quite long. Which is different, and I think it
I was gonna
helps
say
the show.
It does feel different. Like I'm quite excited that Amazon have kind of gotten this corner of, because superhero media is fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
And I like that they're kind of doing the twists on it. You know, I mean, they could have easily just gone to like Image or someone and gone like, hey, we're gonna do a Youngblood series or something. You know what I mean? Found another comic, whether it was successful or not, and just like dumped a ton of money into it and got, which is kind of what I feel they're doing with Lord of the Rings, where it's like, thing you like, we're doing it. So I like that they've kind of cornered that stuff for themselves, a bit like at the time when fucking Defenders was on Netflix. It was like, here's the bit harder edged superheroes.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? It's not like The Boys and Invincible and that, where it's closer to parody, where it's just like, here's a normal superhero thing, but like it's a bit more violent.
Yeah.
And then obviously you got Marvel and DC in that, and I don't know, man. Did you see the Lord of the Rings trailer? Because I haven't.
No, I saw it getting a lot of hate.
Yeah, I mean, I'll reserve judgment till I see it. The guy that made Lord of the Rings couldn't make more good Lord of the Rings movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I mean, you're spot on. Really.
The same guy and most of the same people came back and did it, and they couldn't make a worthy successor.
Yeah, they were mediocre at best.
Yeah, like the first Hobbit is good mostly because it's just Fellowship, but not as good.
Yeah, I mean, they took a lot of step backs, just using more CGI.
Yeah,
for the orcs,
definitely
set pieces. I don't know. It's
because I saw recently Peter Jackson was like, I prefer it because you can make them less human than with makeup, and I was like, but you didn't. Like, they're just blokes. You know what I mean? Like the orcs don't look like really inhuman in The Hobbit. They just look like scary blokes, which is what they look like in Lord of the Rings.
And
but
it's not like they fucking look like people in Lord of the Rings. Like the orcs, when I was younger, they used to fucking scare me.
They were frightening.
Yeah,
brother, Gothmog with his one eye.
Yeah. And some of them looked great.
Yeah, I mean, I rewatched them during Quarantine 1. They hold up flawlessly,
amazingly. Visually, they're stunning.
Yeah, like
to this day.
You get the odd CGI. It's the CGI that dated worst.
Yeah.
You know, Whereas The Hobbit is full of that.
The Hobbit it's a crime. So it's like what the orcs look like. They don't even look. I remember because at the time when I first watched The Hobbit, as someone who didn't read like the books when I was younger, my first thought was like, are these meant to be orcs, or are they like?
I'm still confused with some of them.
Yeah, because I know like you got the.
You know the albino guy, like
yeah, it's like,
what is?
Are they meant to be the same orcs we see in Lord of the Rings? Are they like Uruk-hai? Like what's going on?
Yeah,
I didn't really understand it because they look so different.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and like the terms like orcs and goblins get thrown around so much interchangeably. You're just like, I don't know what that like. In Lord of the Rings, I got it. I was like, okay. Goblins are the ones in caves. Orcs are the like hunched over ones, and Uruk-hai stand up straight.
And aren't they like the genetically made ones?
Yeah. Whereas like, bro, I don't know what was in The Hobbit. It's like there's the tall guy who's an albino, but like, what is he? I don't know. And
the goblins in The Hobbit are like distinguishable from the orcs in the Hobbit films. So it's like.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. It didn't really click for me.
That was our brief diversion into orc anatomy.
There you go.
Asking the hard-hitting questions. What is an orc? What is a goblin?
So, I mean, you know, have you seen the UK Office?
Only a little bit of it.
There's just one scene where they're debating like fairies and pixies, and, like, which one is which. Just the IT guy comes in.
No, man, you see that meme where it was like that fake Julia Fox story, and it was like, I'm going goblin mode.
Uncut Gems.
We just went goblin mode.
I was the mute in Uncut Gems. She's not. She's an android.
Bro, I cannot. Every time I say it, I'm like, that's the chick from Uncut Gems. Like, it's weird. She goes between looking so similar, and then when she has the like weird makeup and that, I'm just like, what?
That one where she's just she's got the mad eye.
Yeah, and that boogie photo shoot where she's like that in the street, bro.
I don't know. But whilst we're on the topic of shows that we've watched, I've watched season 1 of Euphoria.
Oh, swear.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I think it's amazing. It's great show.
Nate Jacobs is a top 5 villain.
Oh, what a prick.
TV. What an op. Season 2, I'm up to date. Just continues to be the worst.
How can you get
make sure you watch the 2 specials before
I've seen them.
You saw them too.
Yeah.
Those are so good.
They are good, yeah. They're
like
very
the Rue one especially.
I liked both.
I think Jules's was like important to flesh her out a bit more.
Well, that's the thing, because from season 1, it is mainly more focused on Rue.
Yeah, like you don't see Jules's home life really.
Yeah.
You get that one flashback bit where you sort of see her transitioning and that,
which was amazing.
Yeah,
like her whole backstory.
Yeah,
and the actor that plays her when she's younger, I thought was amazing.
Swear. Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I season 1 is so good. Like season 2 is really good. It's just sort of, I feel like it really depends on how it ends. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of setup. It's like dominoes. Like they're setting up all these dominoes that are like starting to fall.
But if it don't land.
Yeah, and it's like, it will either be underwhelming or like worth it. Some characters definitely are a bit weaker in season 2. Like Kat isn't really in season 2 too much. She's just sort of in the background.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but like Lexi gets fleshed out a lot more in season 2. She's a really cool character, and yeah, it's such a great show. People love to hate on it, but like it's so good, man.
I think it has that issue of like where it's big and trending, you automatically get people that hate on it. But I thought it was amazing. I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah,
it's great.
Zendaya is so good in
that. Because obviously she's in Spider-Man and that, and
yeah,
she's okay in those films. But
I was gonna say she doesn't really have a lot to work with.
This kind of made me think, she can act.
Yeah, like she's like that scene in season 1 where Fez cuts her off and she's just at the door, like losing her shit. So good, man.
Or the ending of season 1 where she relapses and she's just walking home.
Yeah.
Jules leaves her.
Yeah, every like I mean everyone's great in it. Like I think Maddie's really well performed. Like,
Maddie, obviously
Nate is like such a good, because like I'm sure he's a lovely bloke in real life, but
What
every
a
time he's on
prick.
screen, you're just like, this guy needs to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like so I'm telling you, episode 1 of season 2 will just immediately remind you. You're like, this is why he's the worst. Like immediately, it wastes no
You
time.
got my guy Fez raided as well.
Oh,
How you gonna
bruv.
do that to the boy?
Can't be doing Matt Miller's long lost brother like that.
Yeah. I've seen the comparisons.
Yeah, but yeah, it's such a good show.
Yeah, some of the way it's shot, like one of the episodes that springs to mind is the carnival one,
Yeah,
where it's like every scene that cuts away, the tension just keeps building.
yeah.
It's like everyone's frantically. You got like 4 or 5 subplots,
I was gonna say,
and
'cause,
everyone's just
like Rue finds her sister smoking.
yeah. And then you got Cassie
Cassie
goes off.
losing her
Maddie
shit.
goes off
Yeah.
with Nate. It's just, and every time it cuts away, it feels like everyone's just pacing around frantically. It feels like everything's building. I thought that episode was great.
Yeah, I do. It's just so well like framed, everything. Like I love how it balances between like being very real and gritty in like subject matter and that, but also having like really dreamlike visuals at points.
Yeah.
Which is something they definitely tap a lot more into in season 2. But even in season 1, it's in there quite a bit. And just like I love how it's framed with like Rue narrating. Like in season 1, I love that scene where they're talking like dick pic etiquette.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a class.
Or when she's having like a manic episode, and she's her and Lexi are playing detectives.
Oh
And
yeah,
they're
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to find out what's going on between Jules and Nate. I
Yeah.
thought that was quite cool as well.
Mm.
Also, the soundtrack is amazing.
Oh,
Like Labyrinth did his thing on the soundtrack.
That's probably the biggest downgrade in season 2. Labyrinth's still there and still great, but just there's so many songs in season 1. I was like, what is that song? Let me listen to it. Season 2, not so much. Labyrinth has a few like great tracks in there though. He actually appears in season 2. He has,
Oh,
like,
no
a
way.
cameo.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's such a good show. As I said, like the people that are hating on it, like whatever, man. Like, and to back up what you said, like I saw it literally increased its viewership by like 100% between season 1 and season 2.
There you go.
Which makes sense. Like it's just one of them shows like instantly the timeline spoils, where I just go
Yeah,
into it and I'm
yeah.
like, oh okay,
Yeah, you kind of can't ignore it.
yeah,
So it's like
literally.
you either watch it, catch
Yeah.
up, or you just hate. But yeah, no, I thought it was amazing. Season 2, I'm gonna catch up.
Yeah. Because there's a new episode tonight. I think it's Sundays it comes out. Yeah. So there's only a couple left as well. That's my biggest like. Obviously, once again, pandemic fucked everything up. But like, why? They're only like 8 episodes long, and like it takes so long between seasons.
Well, I saw the first season came out in 2019.
Yeah, it came out
That is a
ages
while
ago.
to
yeah.
wait. And the specials were like a year in between.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Well, because they were literally starting production on season 2, and then COVID happened, which is why like those specials are like they're almost like plays, you know, where it's like one location,
It's
like two characters.
Two characters.
I saw it's the diner for the special that they're eating in is the one from what's the Childish Gambino music video? Where he's in the diner. Is it Sweatpants?
Sober.
Is it Sober?
I think it's Sober.
But yeah, it's the same place.
No way.
Yeah, they show it in the same place. Which, by the way, Atlanta, I finished season 1.
Great.
What a great show.
Yeah, I don't know. COVID.
So funny as well, bro. The Black Justin Bieber episode.
Yeah.
It got me because like the way they frame it is so clever, because like the big crowd come in and obviously Justin Bieber's at the front, and the guy goes, oh, that's Justin Bieber, but there's a white guy behind him that like is obscured. So I was like, oh, is Bieber like back there? And then you look, you're like, oh shit, that's Justin Bieber. So funny, man.
Yeah, it's another one of them shows which kind of spoofs like modern pop culture in it.
You said like Glover's like a big Sopranos fan, innit?
Yeah.
Like I could feel that, because although obviously subject matter is totally different, the way like Sopranos loves having like random people just show up and they're just weirdos and don't really like, you're like, is this even real? Like what's like a bit like in season 1, I think it's the first episode where he's on the bus with his daughter.
Yeah.
And that
yeah,
random
right.
guy gets up. Like that was such a Sopranos thing. I was like, I see it. Like I see the like. There's like an episode of Sopranos where a guy like, he visits like a medium, and he's convinced that like he's being followed around by the ghost of someone he whacked.
Oh no.
And
way.
so like it's just the whole episode. There's like really weird visuals, and they're all, you always see like Tony's dreams in Sopranos, and they're always super weird and super cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, just some of the stuff Atlanta did, I was like, oh okay,
Yeah. I mean,
I see it, I like it.
it kind of has that thing where like each episode has like a different gimmick.
Yeah, some definitely work better than others. Like the one where it's just the TV, where he's being like interviewed. I'm glad the episodes were only half an hour, because I feel like by the end I was like, I'm ready to like move on from this.
Yeah.
You know, like it was funny. Like the guy that's like, I'm a 35-year-old white man, and he like walks past the cops talking to that black guy, and he's like, it was him, and the guy's like, I called them, and he's like, oh. Like it was so funny, man. But yeah, like by the end of that episode, I was like, okay, I'm ready for like the plot to continue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sort of felt like a random
Bit of filler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I need to watch season 2 of Atlanta, to be fair.
Yeah, same. I literally just finished season 1. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you recommended it to me.
Yeah.
And Migos.
Migos, oh, they're coming.
And the fucking Mexican guy shows up.
Bando.
And it's like the 4 Migos.
Yeah, the 4 Migos.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Great show.
Mm.
Childish Gambino, what a talent.
Yeah, man,
What a
he's
talent.
just good at everything.
Yeah.
I still haven't heard his last album, admittedly.
Oh yeah, I heard it when it came out,
Mm.
but it like dropped on the website. It's like such a weird drop.
I hate when like they don't have titles to the songs. I mean, like I get it, you're being like, oh,
It's kind of like Untitled Unmastered.
yeah, but at least that's like 4 songs, or maybe like 6. It's not many, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a decent length, I think. Untitled Unmastered, ain't it?
Is it? I thought it was literally like a couple of songs. I know they're long songs. I could be wrong.
But yeah, he literally dropped that album. Like, when it dropped, it was like on a website. Just
Yeah.
because I remember that was a while ago as well. He hasn't dropped.
I was gonna say, but he's one of them people. Like he's just everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because was that This Is America? Was that before or after? Because that feels.
I want to say after.
I was gonna say that feels more recent, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe his next album will be exclusive to the STEM player.
Yeah.
No. Did you see the Super Bowl with, speaking of Kendrick? Did you see his performance? Is it good? I didn't actually see it. I'm asking this. I didn't see it.
I thought it was like fine. It was like where there was so many of them, and the Super Bowl you only get like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They do like
A song each.
They do like
assume.
2 songs which are like cut down to 30 seconds.
Oh, I swear.
Kendrick did is it Good City?
Didn't he do it all right?
And he did it all right.
I was gonna say, because I saw people like he had to censor some of it, and people were like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's weird."
Yeah.
What a weird thing to censor.
I'm just glad he didn't do Humble. that's
yeah. So it was
overplayed.
2 like old
Yeah, I'm pretty
Kendrick
sure it was
songs. That's interesting. There was no Damn.
No.
Is he ever dropping another album?
One day. I don't know when. I do not know when.
Yeah, man. I thought like maybe with the Baby Keem feature, I was like, oh, maybe he's gearing up for something, but clearly
yeah,
not.
but it kind of just went flat again. I don't know with Kendrick. I don't know. I feel like he himself is stuck in a hard place. I think he doesn't know where to go.
Yeah, because
musically,
didn't it come out? He was working on like a rock album. Or
that was the
something.
rumor. It was like a rock rap album.
That's so interesting. I'd give that, because he's an artist that like can just do what he likes.
Yeah, I mean, I trust Kendrick.
Because even between like Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, like that's such a broad. And then the Black Panther soundtrack that he did a lot of, like he can just sort of go in whatever lane he likes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he's one of those artists where
he's talented enough.
yeah,
to do it.
and his fan base are like accustomed to it. A bit like with Abel, where like you sort of
at this point you expect.
Yeah,
something
every album's gonna sound different. Whereas like
it's a mindset thing where I feel like they feel they have to create something new with each release.
Yeah, and like I think with Kendrick as well, it's like because Damn was so successful. Like he was big before then, but Damn was like internationally, commercially successful in a very different way to he had been before. Like he went from like a big rapper to like just a big musician.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I hope he drops something.
It's 4 or 5
like
years.
He doesn't have enough albums to retire. Like they're great albums, but just like, would it be 4 albums technically?
Yeah, because you got Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly,
Yeah.
Damn.
I guess.
And then you got the Black Panther,
yeah.
Untitled Unmastered.
Yeah, those two sort of.
J.
You know what I mean?
Cole
I just that is never dropping ever.
Never. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, rappers. I don't know. I would argue that is a very strong catalog.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like don't go. I'm not arguing their quality. Just numerically, it's like, oh, is this all we're gonna get from Kendrick? Like, it's just sort of a shame.
No, it would be a shame. Don't get me wrong.
You know what I mean? Like,
at the same time, you don't want to dilute it.
Yeah, of course, but like, that is not many albums when you think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's sort of.
But then look at like artists like Eminem, where they have like 3, 4 at a push, like great albums, and then they kind of just. Not saying Kendrick would do that. Like,
what did he do at Super Bowl?
Lose Yourself.
Oh yeah, of course.
And Rap God, I think.
Rap God, oh, interesting.
I may be wrong. I can't remember. I didn't really think the performance was that great.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't watch it because I didn't really, like I like Kendrick, but like I don't care about where it's like 10 people. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's a lot of people. I just feel if it's an artist, I'm more interested. Like if it was just Kendrick or just whoever, you know what I mean? I'd be a bit more.
It was just weird because, like, as I said, you get 15 minutes at a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
To do your set, which already is quite short for an artist. But you get away with it being one artist. But when you got like 5, 6 people,
and like some of the biggest artists around, like Kendrick Lamar, 50 Cent, Eminem, like
Snoop Dogg, Mary J,
like
even 50 Cent, like came out.
Especially after last year was just Abel.
Yeah, most of the time it is 1 or 2 artists max. I want to say.
I don't know. I think it really.
The year before
depends.
was what was the year where it was Travis and Maroon
5, isn't it?
That was just 2.
Yeah, we did like 10 seconds of Sicko Mode.
Yeah, didn't Beyonce do it?
Yeah, but I think Coldplay actually did it that year. I think right, she just did because it was her and Bruno Mars. But no one ever. People only remember Beyonce doing it.
To be fair, it's not like I
was gonna say
religiously watch all the halftime shows. Just
I was gonna say like I watched last year because obviously it was the weekend, but this year I was just like, oh, it's a lot of people.
Yeah, and it was a lot of people.
Did you see any of the trailers?
No, I didn't.
Neither did I.
No. Any?
I know there was the Doctor Strange one, innit?
Yes, I did not watch that.
Neither did I. I mean, I don't watch trailers.
Won't me.
But I obviously I couldn't really avoid the timeline discussing some of it
because apparently Xavier's in it.
Yeah.
Charles.
Although I think like it's gonna be sort of quote me on this now. I don't think it's actually Charles Xavier. I think it's gonna be like an evil version of him. I think they're gonna fake us out. Yeah, because that's why it's in the trailer, right? So everyone goes, "Oh my god, it's Professor X," and then like he shows up, and you're like, "Oh shit, he's evil."
Well, I think either way, the way they're gonna do it is Marvel seems to have a hard on for like variants right now, where it's like a character, but it's a different version of them.
Yeah. So well, and like bringing back the people that weren't MCU. You know what I mean? Like we brought back Toby and Andrew.
I think Yeah, I'm really curious about Doctor Strange because
Yeah, I mean,
rumors. Do you think Deadpool's in it? Because Ryan Reynolds, people keep asking him if he's in it, and he keeps coming out and saying no. But obviously, since
maybe
Spider-Man,
he'll have like a cameo.
Yeah, it's just ever since Spider-Man.
I hate that this is where we're going now. Like, I don't know why I didn't expect this, because like multiverse is in the name, but I just hate the cameos of like, hey, remember me? Like, I was excited to see the X-Men join the MCU and be a new take. I'm not excited to see Fox's X-Men, especially as Logan is such a good send-off for those X-Men.
Yeah.
Xavier especially, it's like, oh, he had such a great final movie, and now he's gonna like cameo in fucking Doctor Strange 2 for 5 minutes. It's like, oh, okay. Like, I get it's just a bit of fun probably, but it is just a bit like, oh, it doesn't hit the same as maybe because it's right back to back with No Way Home.
Yeah, but it does feel like that's the selling point now. They need that cameo to try and sell their movies.
It's funny because it's literally getting to the point where I'm like, people didn't even like some of these. Like, I saw the rumor that Ben Affleck's gonna cameo as Daredevil, and I was like, but no one even liked that movie.
And the Fantastic Four, like the original Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
they were meant to. Yeah, I don't know.
It just seems such a strange direction to go in, because eventually you're gonna run out.
Yeah, I mean,
like, okay, what is Eric Banner gonna show up?
That was the rumor, though, wasn't it?
Oh, is it?
He's meant to be in is it the Hulk show or was it Doctor Strange?
It must be Doctor Strange. Meant
to be in something. And
it's probably Doctor Strange.
I can see them.
I think it's gonna be like all the Marvel movies are gonna like pop in.
The Marvel that weren't MCU.
Yeah, like the not canon Marvel.
Yeah.
Just so that they can then be like, yeah, that's ours. You know what I mean? Like, even that stuff is MCU because it's what's canon, what's not canon.
Well, it's because now everyone says that Toby and Andrew, they're technically now canon by an MCU, which
whatever that means.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Just Marvel for me is just, for me they're going in a direction which is just a bit stale.
I was gonna say, like, I cared about seeing like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield again. I don't care about seeing the Fox X-Men again.
Yeah.
If Logan didn't exist, maybe. But like, the only people I really care about from that are Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, and it's like, well, they got a great finale.
But like, why not use it to do something new, like introduce new X-Men?
But like, why has it got to be like multiversal? Because I feel like they're going in that direction. I hate, because everyone keeps being like, how are they going to introduce mutants? And I'm like, well, they just show up. That's the point.
Yeah,
like, they're mutants.
Yeah. But you know how
it don't need to be like the multiversal energy or Thanos' snap.
But
like,
everything is going off that now.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They probably will do.
Like, I saw a rumor that like the reason, because they're doing Jane Foster as Thor in the new Thor movie, and there's this might not be real, so take this with a pinch of salt. But because in the comics, when Jane Foster becomes Thor, she has cancer. Right. So it's almost like a Shazam thing, where when she becomes Thor, she's fine, but when she reverts back to Jane Foster, like, she's terminally ill. And the leaked plot rumor is that like she has cancer because of like she got snapped, and when she came back, she had cancer. And I'm like, what? But you don't need to explain everything. Like, I can see them using that as a plot point, though. I think it'll be like, either the multiverse is going to fuck up, or Thanos' snap left some energy that like created now mutants. Yeah, and Fantastic Four will be like, part of that. It'll be like they were astronauts in space when their snap happened. Yeah, or like Doctor Strange opens a portal and they get bombarded with something. You know, I mean, it'll be something like that. And it's just, because it can't just be this superhero was created by XY. It has to be this superhero was created by someone already in the MCU. Which is so funny, because Stan Lee literally said the reason the X-Men are mutants is because he was sick of writing Origins, where he wanted to just be able to explain away that, oh, that person has powers because they're a mutant. He didn't have to think about, did they fall in a vat of electric eels or whatever. And so it's so funny to now see it come full circle, where it's like the mutants need an origin. Where did they come from? How did they exist? Yeah. And it's just like, but no one has ever told that story and it been interesting. We did it in like the Ultimate Universe, where the mutants are like a genetic experiment, and everyone was like, well, who cares? Like, What a boring fucking explanation. And now it's going to be like the multiverse, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And as well, like, no one still likes the Fox X-Men. Like, they didn't end on a good note. People like Deadpool, people like Logan.
Yeah, like their last 2 films are arguably both trash.
Yeah, and most of them are directed by a nonce anyway, allegedly. So, like, yeah, boy, those movies, my favourite.
They're great.
Is, like, Blade going to show up and it be Wesley Snipes, even though we're doing it with Mahershala Ali?
I'm really curious about Doctor Strange.
I just, like, I'm interested because it's Sam Raimi. And I do like the concept. I just think where it's right after Spider-Man, I'm just like, this is what we're doing now. Yeah. And I mean, Loki as well was kind of doing a similar thing. Not exactly the same, but close enough that it's like, oh, yeah, variants. Okay.
Which is basically what this is.
Yeah, and we had What If as well, which is...
Yeah.
Seems like it's going to tie very heavily into this.
Because it's like zombie... Doctor Strange.
There's like an evil one, where he's like a bad Doctor Strange, and he's in the What If. And also I saw like a screenshot where it's like, because this, you've not seen What If, have you?
Not all of them, no.
You know the Watcher in it. He's got that wall he can see through. There's like an image in the trailer of Wanda next to a wall that looks like exactly the same, where it's all like, and so people are like, oh, is the Watcher going to show up or something? And like tie it into What If, so that people are like, oh yeah, What If? Let me go watch that. And so yeah, I just multiverses are cool, but like not when we get so like caught up in them.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, but I care about this universe at the end of the day. Like you telling me that the Ben Affleck Daredevil happened over there doesn't excite me.
I know, and it just seems to me that it's a bit lazy. It's like I said, they're using these characters for excitement in new films, where I feel like they should be focusing on creating something new.
Yeah, you know, like who are the new Avengers gonna be? It's gonna be fucking multiversal people at this point. You know, like, yeah, it just feels very. It's gonna run out of gas very quickly because you can only do it so, and maybe that's why they're doing these 2 movies and then that'll be it. Maybe, but I doubt it.
But past the reaction you have when you first see the film of, oh shit, that's Hulk, and what does it really do for your film? Yeah,
like there's me looking at you and going, the Eric Bana Hulk happened in universe blah blah blah. Does that really like, oh sick, I enjoy that movie now?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, oh great, fantastic news. But maybe it will be more of, as I said, I wonder if, I hope they're going to have more fun with it. And as I said, maybe do stuff like, oh, it's Professor X, played by the same actor, so you think it's going to be him, but it's like, oh no, this is like an evil version or something. Maybe they'll have more fun with it.
I hope they...
It can't just be the portal scene from No Way Home again. No. You know what I mean?
Do that again. Because it was trash.
Well, and like, who could it be? Like... People care about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Like, does anyone care if, like, like whoever steps out, like outside of maybe Wesley Snipes, I guess?
Yeah, because all the other the stuff that isn't attached to the MCU, most of it is bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's very hit or miss.
But like you said, if they do something fun with it, like I don't know, Eric Bana's Hulk shows up, but he's like the Grey Hulk.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Something like that. Just make it different.
Yeah, where it's not just that. So it's not like you're ticking checklists of, oh yeah, that movie happened in that universe and that happened.
Yeah. Like, do what they did. Bear in mind, not a lot of people liked what they did in WandaVision, but they brought back Kevin Peters as Quicksilver, but he wasn't Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Do something like that.
Although that might date horribly now if we do like have the Fox X-Men like show up, because you're gonna be like, oh, wait,
what the fuck was that?
Yeah, I mean, or like I hope they have real fun with it. Like, imagine he goes to like a universe and it's like the animated show from the 90s. Yeah, it's like Spider-Man's animated Spider-Man swings in, or like, you know, like the fucking video games or something. You know what I mean? Like he drops in and it's like Marvel versus Capcom. Yeah, like stuff cool. Like that. Yeah. Just like if you're gonna do it, have fun with it, because otherwise, like, I don't care about the tedious plot. Oh yeah, this universe.
It'll be another generic Marvel film with the same comedy.
Probably.
Just with like 10 cameos.
Whoa, I fell in this universe, and this universe is just crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I'm excited because like I like Sam Raimi, and I do. Whilst I didn't really enjoy the first Doctor Strange movie, I do like him as a character. I'm quite interested to see like the more magic-y side of, you know, the MCU. Get weird with it.
Yeah, why not?
You know, you're big enough now, you can. It just, I've said recently, it's funny, like, I thought the appeal of comic book movies was like, it distilled like the simple stuff. And that's why people enjoyed it, because it was so accessible. Whereas now, like, it feels like we're getting so overcomplicated with it, where it's going to start getting to the point where, like, I can't explain these movies to people anymore. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, explain the last Spider-Man movie to someone that's only seen the first the Tobey Maguire movie.
Yeah, true.
Be like, so yeah,
true.
So he is in an alternate universe, and like, he gets brought in because they're doing a spell that goes wrong. Like, it's just like, what?
I know. But to be fair, like, so many of the Marvel films are so easily accessible for new watchers. I don't mind them doing things like that, where it's kind of, you won't know what's going on unless you've seen this. And
Yeah,
you can get away with a few.
It's not so much
few films like that.
It's just the more convoluted plot, just for the sake of explaining things. You know what I mean? Like, the way we did No Way Home, like, really felt to me like at points, especially with the ending, where it was like, well, we're not sure if we're going to get the deal with Sony again, so like, leave it where like he's still there, it's but ambiguous. Nobody knows who he is. So if Spider-Man is never referenced by an Avenger again, it's not weird.
But he exists in our universe. He just, you never see him.
Over there.
He's never on the news, or like, he never saves anyone.
But I mean, isn't that literally what it's going to be? Where if it is like, oh yes, Eric Bana's Hulk exists over there. Yeah. You know, I mean, like, does that matter? Is he ever going to show up again? Sort of thing. Yeah,
I wonder if Andrew and Toby will show up again in Doctor Strange.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think anything Spider-Man related. Like, they'll talk about it, but not that, because, you know, then they'd have to make a deal with Sony again. You know what I mean? I think this is going to be like everything else. Every other Marvel movie, we rope that in and sort of, as I said, I feel like it's going to be like a lot of like, hey, look,
it's this guy.
Remember me? And he like winks at the camera in a really poorly shot scene in someone's house.
It's like Chris Evans.
Yeah, he's going to. Oh, he is going to appear. 100. He's going to appear, and people are going to be like, or Doctor Strange is going to be like, Steve. And he's going to be like, Steve would be like, and then like he catches fire and his clothes burn off and he's got the Fantastic Four suit underneath. That'll be the scene. Like, Steve, I'm Johnny.
Flame on. And he just fucks off.
100%. That'll be it.
I saw another thing from the trailer where it was like one of the when Doctor Strange is like in handcuffs and he's being escorted by like Ultron robots.
Yeah.
And one of the silhouettes sitting down has like really long and skinny arms.
Oh,
so
really?
like the speculation was, is that Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah, well, and there's rumors that like John Krasinski is playing him, or like an alternate him.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but I'm a bit like, this is how we're going to introduce the Fantastic Four in the MCU. Just like a weird fucking alternate universe.
It is lazy.
It's just like, oh, I was excited. Like, even with this kind of muted feelings I've had towards the MCU post Endgame, I have been excited to be like, oh, but the X-Men and Fantastic Four are going to show up.
But it feels like,
and now it's just like, oh, I don't really.
And it feels like they're taking so long to do it. Like, bear in mind COVID and everything, but there hasn't really been much mention of
mutants.
Yeah, it's just
anything. Like, even a little tease.
Yeah, I wonder if this film probably will be, if any film was going to introduce them, you would say it would be this one. But if they don't do it in this film, I don't know. Like, I wonder what route they're going to take.
Yeah, same.
With the X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because like those original movies are iconic.
Yeah.
So either way, whatever you do will be a response to them. I watch the after credit scene's gonna be like Doctor Strange has finished the plot or whatever, and then like we see a portal open and fucking Deadpool will hop out.
Probably, yeah.
Or like he'll be left stranded. He'll like fall out and be like, guys, Steven, help!
Yeah,
and he's like lost in like the middle of the MCU, and like Hulk jumps on him or something.
Yeah,
It's like,
definitely.
Catch me in Deadpool 3. Which, I mean, even that feels like it's taken forever to come out.
It's weird, isn't it?
Because Deadpool 2 was ages ago.
Yeah.
Weren't we still in sixth form when that came out?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, 2016, 17, wasn't it? The first one was like 2015.
Deadpool is not a iconic enough franchise to like disappear for fucking 6 years or whatever.
Well, the thing is, the films were massive though.
Yeah, of course.
I think the third one.
I'm
was
just saying, like,
as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, just the fact it's tied now to the MCU, even if he's not in the MCU.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I mean, the whole thing with Fox, it kind of left Deadpool in like a limbo. So
Yeah, definitely.
I guess they are waiting, and it's all but confirmed, isn't it? Number 3.
Yeah, they announced the writers because it's they're from Bob's Burgers, which I haven't seen, but I hear is really good.
But yeah, I don't know. It seems like where for me personally, the MCU, I'm just kind of over it at the moment. So I X-Men, something like the X-Men or Fantastic Four, I think would drag a lot of people back in.
Yeah,
and it gives them the opportunity to do something different.
Yeah, definitely.
Or, like, they probably won't, and they'll probably stick to the same tropes. But I don't know. They're big enough characters to make you change something.
For me, I feel like the appeal of like doing multiverses and stuff like that is like to see, because you know, like in comics when we do alternate dimensions and stuff, it normally has a different tone. Like the Ultimate Universe feels different to the normal Marvel universe. If you look at something like Earth 1 at DC or whatever, like normally it feels different. It's not just the normal stories, but like a couple of the details are changed. Whereas I don't really have faith that the MCU are going to use like the multiverse to tell a totally different Hulk story that I couldn't get otherwise.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll just be like the same formula, the same humor.
Yeah, it'll just be Eric Banner.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, which I feel like is such a waste, because like if you've got like, yeah, cool, do like alternate. If you're gonna do multiverses and shit like that, like do take it
into it. But that's the issue with a lot of the Marvel films. I feel like they use these ideas, but they don't lean into them in ways that they could. Like you said, do something weird, have him go into an animated universe or something.
Yeah.
But it's just they play it so safe.
Well, and like, I think that was the main criticism of What If, is like, I did enjoy What If. I thought it was quite like fun, you know what I mean? But every universe had the same tone. Like even the zombies episode, which should be dark, right? Like everyone's just cracking jokes the whole time, and so like none of the horror lands, because you're like, well, they're not scared. Why would I be scared? And I get like, with that, I cut it a bit slack because I was like, well, it isn't like a R-rated fucking zombie. Like it's not The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But it did definitely go too far. But every universe felt like that. Like everyone was. It's the MCU. We're cracking jokes. Just the formula. Everything felt the same no matter what universe they were in. It was just like the plot is a bit different, with the exception of like a couple of episodes. Like there's a really good one where like all the Avengers are like assassinated.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it's like that one's a bit darker, where you're like, oh okay, and just like it's more of a mystery. Like it doesn't feel like you're just watching another MCU spin-off thing. It's like, oh okay, this is having some fun with the like idea of like we're in an alternate universe, anything can happen. Like the first scene is like Iron Man just fucking dies, and you're like, oh,
here we go.
You know what I mean? So I just sort of worry that like with the movies and the Disney Plus shows and that, we're not going to really take advantage of the fact we're in an alternate.
No, I don't expect them to at all. To be honest, same. I just expect Doctor Strange to be another Marvel film.
I think it's just going to be the portal scene from No Way Home.
Probably
just like the
be.
movie.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
But if there's one character where it should be different and weird, especially based on the first film, where like visually that film tries to be a bit different at least. So
yeah,
this would be the one where they do something weird.
yeah. Well, it definitely. I get why the original director dropped out now. Like, I don't know the behind the scenes stuff, but I really feel like, because he pitched it as like, this is gonna be like a horror movie.
Is this
MCU's first horror movie?
Yeah.
I think that I think they looked at No Way Home and went, people are really gonna fuck with this.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange needs to be that on like steroids.
Yeah.
And so he was probably like, I don't want to fucking do this. Like, peace out. And, you know, because it isn't getting Sam Raimi back. Like, also, it's that whole thing. We're bringing everyone back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, fucking
fan favorite.
Charles Xavier's back. Sam Raimi's back. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's sort of to really cement it in that feel, I wonder, rather than just like Sam Raimi had a killer pitch for Doctor Strange 2.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Which, I mean, maybe, I think he is a big Doctor Strange fan, so I am like excited. And he is originally a horror movie director. So
I feel like you're always in a box with Marvel.
Recently, especially.
Yeah, you're so limited with what you can do.
I feel like post Guardians 1, they really moved into a like, everything is gonna be this. We're gonna have the music, we're gonna have the jokes. Like, you kind of have that with Avengers, but Guardians onwards is where it really starts to show, I think.
Yeah.
And some do it better than others. Like, Guardians is a great movie.
Well, Guardians, at the time, Guardians was different. Like, it was.
Well, and James Gunn does it well.
Yeah.
Which I hear Peacemaker was really good.
I need to watch that. Yeah.
It's not over here, unfortunately. Which I hate.
Legally.
Catch me on Uno Dos Tres Cinema.
Put locker.
But yeah, just because did you see the people talking about the finale of Peacemaker?
Yes. Yeah. So weird.
I hate fanboys.
Well, you had it spoiled, right?
Yeah.
Justice League.
Yeah, like, it's a dumb, silly cameo, and everyone was like, "Oh, they fucking, where was Cyborg and Batman?"
Oh, fuck that. The thing that annoyed me was that it was Superman, just a silhouette of Superman.
Again, this is like the fourth time.
Yeah, because they do it in Shazam as well.
Yeah, and in something else, I think it's just like he flies by us. Oh, he gets like referenced in Suicide Squad, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Where it's like he puts Superman in the ICU. How do you feel with the DC, like the direction they're going in?
I'm quite optimistic with DC. I think they're going in the right direction overall.
Which is no direction, right? Like,
exactly.
They just seem to be doing.
They're just doing their own thing. They're
like, if you want to make a movie, like, make it.
They've kind of taken a step back from trying to make everything
but
part
like,
of the same universe.
Have they?
In a way, yeah.
Because like, I found it very telling that like Batman isn't in that lineup. I wondered if they were like, ooh.
I mean, they're definitely bringing.
Are we gonna use like Robert Pattinson, or are we gonna do this Michael Keaton thing?
I think this is the only thing that's may hold them back. Where they're clearly still clinging to Flash and Aquaman, at least.
I think they just needed a full-on reboot.
Yeah.
Like, not a fucking whatever they're doing. I don't give a shit. They just needed to be like, we're starting from scratch.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Because like, whether you like Zack Snyder's direction or not, like, it's over.
He's not doing any more films.
And like, you can't continue it. You know what I mean? Like, other things have gone in other. You should have just. We're rebooting. We're gonna keep some of the same actors. Deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, we used to do that in movies. Like, Edward Norton just fucking changed into Mark Ruffalo between movies. We didn't need a fucking. I traveled the multiverse and swapped fucking.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's the main thing that will hold them back, because, I mean, right now I think they're on quite a good streak. Like, Suicide Squad was great.
Yeah.
The Peacemaker show, although I haven't seen it, I've heard it's great.
I was gonna say
Batman looks amazing.
I was gonna say that.
And
sick.
Shazam, I thought was fun.
Shazam, I really enjoyed. What else have we had
recently? I thought Birds of Prey was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So I think as long as they try and focus on they're not gonna do the MCU now. They tried it and it flopped.
But I do worry that like they're at the back of their mind, they're thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, as in they can't do it successfully now. They've already flopped. I feel like it's not worth trying to do it again.
Maybe.
Just
as I don't trust Warner Bros. Not to be like, hey.
Yeah, I'm not saying they won't try again.
Yeah, because I think that's what this Flash movie is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it will be.
It's like, God damn it. And it seems like, because Michael Keaton's in the Batgirl movie they're making.
Yeah.
And that's got J.K. Simmons, Commissioner Gordon, who's so the one. Bringing Michael Keaton, once again getting into this multiversal bullshit, bringing Michael Keaton back is exciting because you're like, oh, those movies happened. But clearly they didn't if J.K. Simmons is Commissioner Gordon. You know what I mean? Because like he's not Gordon in those movies.
I think the idea will be that Flash pulls him into
but
universe.
Why Michael Keaton then? You know what I mean? Like, what a waste.
Well, I think
might as well make it Robert Pattinson at that point.
But I feel like at the time they didn't know the direction of the Batman solo film.
Definitely.
I don't know. It's you don't know. There's so many things that go into it.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton, number one, just for publicity alone.
Yeah, of course. And like
he's like, he is iconic.
Like he's iconic. It's just like what a shame. And like this is the first Flash movie we get is being promoted on the fact fucking Batman's in it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
what?
And it's going to be used purely to...
It's so hilarious because, like, The Flash is the most marketable. He's had a show running for fucking forever.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, he's the last member of that Justice League that needed the Batman support package.
Yeah, for real.
You know, like, that CW show was big. I mean, it's still running, innit? But certainly the first couple of seasons were really popular. Yeah. I don't know about now, but... You know, people know who the Flash is. You know, they managed to make an Aquaman movie at the end of the day. Yeah. And that was hugely successful.
Cyborg one.
Yeah, but like, if fucking Cyborg was being promoted on the fact Batman is in it, I would get it. But as I said, the Flash is like a proven...
I think it is more where everyone... Flashpoint is a very known storyline to casual comic fans. So they're kind of using that to be like, yeah, we're going to use that to save our universe, like save the DC.
Which is so funny because Flashpoint rebooted into the New 52, which like most people didn't like. Like it was commercially successful, but critically, like, is kind of derived at this point. So it's just so funny to see them be like, yeah, that one, we're going to do that. And also they're not doing that because it's Michael Keaton and not... Because in the Flashpoint universe, it's his dad, right?
Yeah.
Which I thought was the whole reason we cast Jeffrey Dean Morgan as his dad in BVS.
I mean...
For that one scene. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. When they do Flashpoint, they'll have Jeffrey Dean Morgan as, like, Psycho Batman.
But they don't need to be accurate with it.
Yeah, no, I'm
they're just going to use the idea of it.
Yeah, 100% that's what they're doing. I'm just saying it's funny that, like...
Yeah.
This, it's like, yeah, we're doing Flashpoint, but, like, we're not doing Flashpoint.
I am... I'm curious as to what that film will turn out to be. But yeah, I don't know. I think DC works best when they just focus on individual films.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all of their best movies don't tie into anything else. Like, all of the Batman movies, the original Superman movies, obviously Joker was a big success. Like, none of them fucking tie into anything.
Yeah.
You know, except the other movies in that franchise. It's not like Christopher Nolan's Batman is...
part of a wider...
Yeah, although until we do the multiverse, the Batverse, we're going to do Batman and No Way Bat.
Way Bat.
Yeah, it'll have all the Batman. Val Kilmer will step out the portal. And everyone will go, oh yeah, he played Batman.
It's just weird, though, that they went for Michael Keaton, going back to that, because he is old.
I was going to say, like, realistically, how many movies, and, like, how mobile is he going to be?
I don't know if that all...
Do you know what I mean? Like, is he going to be doing fucking flips and kicks? And
I really don't know. Maybe they'll give him, like, a Nick Fury type role.
Yeah, I mean, that is what the rumour was, wasn't it? That he's sort of going to be, you know, I mean, that's sort of even what they set him up within BVS, wasn't it? Where it's like, I'm gonna put the team together.
Yeah.
And I assume that's what he does in Justice League.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, even in Suicide, the original Suicide Squad, isn't it? He was like, the end credits, like, I'm putting together a team.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I trust. I don't know if I'm gonna trust them with that, with the Flash film. It seems like they're trying to do too much.
Definitely.
After the bad run they were on at the start, I feel like now they're in quite a good place.
It feels like a weird holdover, innit?
Yeah, and the other thing is, if the Batman film does do well, I wonder what if they'll try and include him, Robert Pattinson's Batman, in some way.
Flash 2.
Oh, I just think that's a bad
Bring
move.
back Rob Pat from the multiverse.
Actually, that's such a bad move.
I mean, I already saw. I can't remember if it was Matt Reeves or Robert Pattinson was talking about, like, we've already had conversations about what Superman in this universe would look like. I'm like, interesting.
Why don't they just do that? Like,
I don't know why they would.
If the Batman is good, just if you want to do it that bad, do it with that.
Yeah, it makes sense because certainly tonally, it seems like it's a very comic booky movie. So it's not like with because the Nolan ones did leave them in a hard spot where it's like, oh, people really fucked with these Batman movies, but like, you can't have Superman fly in that universe.
Yeah, it
you know
just
what I mean?
fuck everything up.
It would just feel like, what?
Yeah.
The whole appeal was like they're more real,
They're
grounded.
But yeah, it's just, if you want to do it that bad, give Pattinson like maybe 2 or 3 films, and then I don't know, start from there.
Genuinely, like, it seems a very easy thing to do.
Because
like, just reboot. Like, I get everyone loves Cavill. I think just do a fresh start, reboot everyone.
Because this is going to be such a half measure with the Flash thing.
It feels like a holdover.
Well, because from what I'm gathering, Aquaman and Flash are the only 2 confirmed. Because Wonder Woman, you would have said, but she wasn't even in that Peacemaker thing, which could have been like filming conflict.
Well, no, they were all in it, and then some of them disappeared in the final cut. We've seen Cyborg, Batman, and Wonder Woman did all have stand-ins.
That's weird.
Because the like stunt doubles put up the pictures where they were like, here's me in the bat suit, here's me in the Superman suit, here's me in the whatever, you know what I mean? So it was all of Zack Snyder's Justice League were there.
Yeah, I mean, and we already know Batman's being recast as Keaton. So that's one down. Cyborg, it sounds like the actor won't come back to that role.
Yeah, and
so
good for him.
To be fair, but that leaves Wonder Woman and Superman. And Superman is another one which is pretty dead on. I feel like they're gonna.
I mean, they have to at this point, right?
Yeah, which is a shame.
Yeah, like, it's a shame he never got his chance to shine, but it's just too much baggage, I think. It's a bit like Ben Affleck. Like, it's a shame he never got like to really give a great performance in that role. But like, at the end of the day, like, shit happens.
Yeah,
like, we move.
Definitely.
That's movies, right? Like, you know, Edward Norton was a cool Bruce Banner, but you know, we got
life.
Mark Ruffalo. Moving on, you know, like, we don't really. It's weird that now so much is like, okay, but we need a movie to explain why Ben Affleck's leaving. We can't just recast. And it's also weird, like, even with Michael Keaton, like, obviously Ben Affleck is playing an older Batman, but he's not old.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, he's just like in his
late 30s, maybe early 40s.
I think he's close to 50, but yeah.
Oh, really?
I think so.
What, as in Ben Affleck or
Ben Affleck? I don't know about the Bruce Wayne, but yeah, I think he's like 40s, maybe very early. I don't think he's 50. But yeah, like, it feels weird to then go so far, like, because Michael Keaton's like 70, 80. Like, you're jumping up substantially. Like, it's not like, oh, we got someone else in the same age bracket.
I wonder if he will stick around. I don't know. It's
will he just be in this Batgirl movie that they're doing at the moment?
Or maybe it'll be like a half measure where he's a placeholder, and then if they decide they want to bring Robert Pattinson in, I don't know. It's.
I mean, you sort of wonder how long this new DC extended, or this new phase of the DC extended universe is gonna last.
Yeah. Before they.
Because like, who cares? Like, okay, Aquaman 2, people will see. Aquaman 1 was big. Wonder Woman 2 was not critically well received. Who else is left? They're not doing another Superman movie.
Not with Henry.
You know what I mean?
They're gonna do.
You sort of question, like, well, how... Okay, you're going through all of this to reboot it, but, like...
What's the point?
What is the point? Like, and, like, what are you building to? You know what I mean? Like Wonder Woman 3 probably would have been announced if we were getting it.
It does. It is a weird feeling because it feels like they are the only two they are holding on for are Aquaman and Flash, which in my opinion, like, why not just, like you said, why not just start over?
Yeah, and
Because
like you can keep Jason Momoa around
if you want. Keep both of them.
Yeah,
right,
but it's weird. Like, who gives a shit about Ezra Miller's Flash at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's just, why do you need to tie? I don't know. Why do you need to soft reboot it? Because it's gonna be. To be fair, I can't really say what it's gonna be like, but I get a vibe it's gonna be Flash brings people into the already existing DCEU.
I mean, it'll probably be like, because the setup of Flashpoint is like Barry goes back in time to save his mom, and that like fucks up the timeline, and you can't fix it. You know what I mean? Like, once it's fucked up, it's fucked up. Like, even if you put everything back, it won't be back exactly the same. We'll probably have a similar thing where, like, okay, you tried to fix the timeline, but like you can't fix it 100%. Like, there's a couple of things that have changed. Like, I guess Batman 1989 happened.
Yeah.
But then, like, so what? We'll never get a Joker in this universe?
Good point.
'Cause, like,
Good
Jack
point.
Nicholson dies at the end
Unless
of the first
they bring
Batman movie.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I get, like, okay, we brought over the actor, but the movie doesn't count. The movie didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, is it? This one's like, it's so dumb. Like, why are we doing any of this? Just cast someone new. Or it's especially worse because Robert Pattinson's Batman movie comes out in like 2 weeks.
And he looks like a good Batman.
Yeah.
The film looks great.
Why jump headlong into, okay, we need to do a Batgirl spin-off right now?
Yeah.
Even if you do, like, what we've got to tie it into the... It's like they got two universes going on at once for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, how easy... The point of this universe is it's rebooting, so just fold it into that one. Be like, Barry appears and he's in Matt Reeves' universe now.
Literally,
you know
though.
what I mean?
If you want to keep the Flash on, just stick him in one of your other things. I don't know why you want to...
Why can't Batgirl be in the other universe? Like, why can't it tie into Matt Reeves' one? Like, if you got to be like, we need to make a Batgirl movie, cool. People, why do I care about a Batgirl that is like unconnected to anything?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, if she tied into Ben Affleck, I'll be like, okay, cool, like, interesting. Let's see where we're going with this. Obviously, if she tied into Pattinson and his movies, it'd be like, oh, sick. Like, you know.
Do we know what she's going to be tied to? If she's even going to have like
Michael Keaton's been seen on set in the Batsuit.
But I wonder, like, if that will that be like set before Flashpoint? Will she be like, or will it be in the 1989 universe?
But we know that J.K. Simmons is playing her dad, so I think it's post Flashpoint.
Right, because he's Gordon.
He's Gordon in the Justice League.
Interesting.
This is what I'm saying. Like, why is it needlessly complicated?
Interesting. Unless, I don't know, he's like Gordon's... J.K. Simmons is like Gordon's grandson from 1989.
Yeah, I guess.
He's like son or something.
Yeah, or maybe it's like flashbacks. Like, we see like Michael Keaton in here.
Young Michael Keaton.
Yeah, they like CGI him young
when
or
it's
something.
like set in 1989.
Yeah, like it's just after Batman Returns or something.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, like you get like a Danny DeVito reference. And they're like, oh, hey, remember when that guy died and he had a funeral procession of penguins?
Remember when there was like a man who was literally just a penguin?
And he bled black blood.
Fucking weird. In a good way.
Sick movie. He dies and the penguins like...
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him the
weird
funeral
film.
march. Honestly, Tim Burton was just like, this movie's gonna be weird. It's gonna be horny and it's gonna be weird.
Yeah. Because 89 is like weird. It's like a Tim Burton film, but it's still like...
There's like a grip on reality.
Yeah.
Whereas Returns is just fucking insane.
Straight up, Danny DeVito just plays a human penguin.
Like, he's just a monster for no reason.
Yeah.
At least my nose isn't gushing blood. And then he fucking bites the guy. Wild. Yeah.
Hello, Michelle Pfeiffer. That's Catwoman.
To this day. Yeah, it's also like I can't get excited because I know like these like new Michael Keaton whatever like tie-ins what are gonna have like half the creativity. Like they're not gonna have an insane Penguin Man.
No way.
You know what I mean? Like
no way. Because it's gonna be Michael Keaton. It's not gonna be his back.
Like is Gotham gonna be a weird gothic nightmare like it is in those movies?
Although we best see his fucking Batmobile.
You know we'll hear the theme. Although didn't they use it in the theatrical cut of Justice League? I think. I don't know. I haven't seen either of the versions of Justice League. So, you know, I intend to keep it that way.
Wins and losses.
Yeah, I feel like we've pretty thoroughly wrapped up the DC and Marvel.
Yeah. So in
the state of superhero movies.
Yeah.
In short, put Daredevil and fucking Star.
Keep it going.
We need it. We need season 4. I'm telling you, the dream is like they announce like Daredevil and Defenders are going to be available on Star, and season 4 will start filming this year or something.
That'd be amazing. But it won't be that. It'll be some shitty half-assed Daredevil where it's like he's soft. It's not.
And like they don't reference the other series.
No.
Like directly.
No.
They like wink and nudge.
Foggy and Karen on in it.
Oh, gosh, imagine. Yeah, man. I don't know. Hey, whatever direction they go in, we'll talk about it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do you have a topic or anything you want to discuss? Cause that's my list. I think we did the whole list, more or less.
We've gone through everything.
Oh, I saw Snow Allegra. Can talk about that a bit. She was really good. Really good performance.
Her vocals on point.
Yeah, man, she can sing. She can proper sing. It was fun. There was a moment there as well where like someone was clearly having trouble in the crowd, and she like stopped the show.
Oh no way!
And I was like, I hate how everyone now like immediately like not politicizes it, but you know what I mean. It's gotta be like, oh, she stopped the show. Like everyone around me was like, oh, she stopped the show, and it's like, come on, man, like.
Yeah, any decent person would.
Yeah, like someone in the front row was clearly having problems.
Is that your first proper concert since COVID?
No, I saw Mahalia at Brixton last year, and I saw Pink Pantheress, although that was a very small concert.
Because where was Snow Allegra?
Brixton Academy.
Oh no. Good venue.
It is such a good venue.
Good venue, isn't it?
Really good. The raking on the floor in it, so like it's not flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was mad. Like the queue was enormous.
Really?
Yeah. Like
she's quite big though. To be fair.
Yeah. She could definitely, if she continues to like rise, she'll probably be at the O2 next. Speaking of the O2, did you fucking see it?
Yeah, it got ripped to shreds.
Mad.
Turned into the O3.
I saw Dave has to movie shows now because of that.
When is Dave?
It would have been tomorrow. It was Monday.
You know, we should have got tickets for that.
We should have. What now?
That's an L.
I don't know why. I saw them, like him announce them, and I just like didn't set an alarm. Have you been to a post-COVID show yet?
No, not like an individual concert. Obviously, we did Part Life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
No, not an individual. No.
Yeah, no. You mentioned it. I don't think I've seen you.
No.
Well,
waiting.
2022.
Here's some more of them.
We have Bastille.
When is that?
April? May? I don't know. I need to check. I still haven't heard their new album.
Same. Fake fans.
Honestly, because I saw... I went to listen to it, and I was like, oh, half the songs I've already heard, like, they're singles.
Right.
No, I mean, so it just sort of... I was like, I'll listen to the rest. I was like, oh, yeah, the singles bang. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have that where I'll see an album, I'll be like, I've already heard, like, 90% of this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad. we're in a position now where we can go to concerts again.
Yeah,
COVID,
definitely.
I feel like me personally, I've just had like a it's very quick how I've just become accustomed to like doing the things we couldn't do in COVID.
Yeah.
It's just become normal to me. But then when I think about it, like what we in now, Feb, about 6 to 8 months ago, none of this was really possible.
Yeah, I mean, literally a year ago we were in lockdown, isn't it?
So it's like, it's just weird to me because it's like right now we could just go out and go to like a club or somewhere. Whereas like before you had to fucking eat outside in the rain or if you wanted to drink.
Yeah.
So it is weird how like so quickly everything's just gone back to normal. At least in my mindset, everything just is just there for me again.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I don't really think about it.
Well, and like everything's been rolled back so much now. It's like crazy. Like you don't even have to like do a test before you go or anything. Like it's proper like relaxed. So like you said, you can like go anywhere now.
Yeah, because I remember when clubs first opened, we had to show like COVID passes.
Yeah.
It's just weird how I'm glad everything's back to normal, but
definitely
it was just kind of seamless how everything transitioned.
Yeah, well, and like available. The things that were acceptable, like, oh man, this number of cases is too high, we need to lock down, and then like all of a sudden, like over Christmas, they were like, nah, it's cool. Like 1 in 2 people has COVID, but like
it's fine, mate.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, fuck,
you know what I mean?
Sort of. Lad.
Yeah, I suppose the main thing now is travel. Just waiting to see that. What happens there? Because although now you don't even need a PCR anymore, do you? You can do lateral flow, can't you?
Oh, really?
I think. Don't quote me on that. I mean, it all depends on where you're going, obviously, but I'm pretty sure now, like, it's much more relaxed than it was. So I'd be for 2022.
Here we come.
Live podcast.
Yeah, fucking off our faces. But yeah, it's just
so a normal podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, I do need to go to a couple of concerts. That's one thing that I missed majorly.
Yeah, definitely.
Just the energy at certain concerts. It's just
like, and just like seeing like these artists you wouldn't otherwise see, like, you know what I mean, like especially when they're like foreign artists, like it's just such a different vibe. You're like in normally a big venue like the O2 or something, seeing like, oh shit, it's fucking
I'm surprised though, because it still feels like a lot of artists are holding off on doing tours. Because obviously like UK is UK, but a lot of the bigger artists like Drake still hasn't announced a tour for his album. Obviously Weeknd is
in that weird limbo at the moment.
Yeah, he still hasn't announced any venues, has he? Or dates. So
it was supposed to be summer this year, but that feels like we're really short notice now. I don't know.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Maybe in America it will be the summer. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Although because the idea is he's doing stadium tour. Maybe that means less dates, bigger venues. So, because I assume he'll just do Wembley in England, and that's it.
Presumably, or like London Stadium, something like that. You know, one of those.
Yeah.
Tottenham.
Yeah, imagine if he did. They could.
You could do. I think it's. I don't know what the seating capacity is for stadium for like shows, because obviously you take out some of the seating in it.
True.
But it must be pretty high. So if you can't get Wembley, I suppose maybe that is the new like number 2 option.
Yeah, arguably I think it would be, wouldn't it?
Well, isn't it the biggest club stadium in Europe? London.
In London, yeah.
In London,
yeah. I think it's just Man United, but that's quite a dated stadium.
Yeah.
I don't think not a lot is held there apart from football matches.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see where he
Wembley would be sick. Though.
Wembley would be sick. I'd love to go.
But just like Tottenham would be just like
so
as a Tottenham fan, like
yeah,
cool to see. Like, and it's like close.
Yeah,
you could like walk there.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't have to be like fucking Wembley when you leave you've got to be in that massive like
you could
swarm of people.
Walk down back.
Be like, well, good show, mate.
Yeah. It feels so weird though, like Tottenham High Road is just fucking here in the weekend. It's like you got some crackheads down the road.
Well, you know what I mean, the House of Balloons.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah.
There's no better place.
Last table girls, mate. Yeah, it'll be interesting because we don't have that many like stadiums that do like shows like that.
Yeah, it really is really Wembley and
and as I said, I think London Stadium as well, but I think that's it. I don't think the other stadiums have like the structure or whatever. Yeah, facilities. Don't think you have the facilities for that big man. But yeah, I think it's literally just them three. So
it's just that feels like the one thing that hasn't quite come back to normal yet. With the concerts. Just where I think artists are still cautious. Yeah,
definitely, because it's a lot of money to invest and then be like, oh no, never mind.
And it goes hand in hand with travel, because travel is still a bit 50-50 with everything. So
definitely,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully as more time goes on, cases get lower and that, you know, more stuff will be available. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, we talked about wireless last week. It'll be interesting to see the festival, how back to normal the festival circuit goes this year.
Well, to be fair, Park Life was. What did we have to do at Park Life to show COVID pass? That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah, we didn't.
Right.
Yeah, literally
they
COVID
were kind
pass.
of already all right.
But obviously, that had been moved. You know what I mean? Like it'll be interesting to see just a normal year where no dates have been swapped around, and
I think there's no excuses now really, because
with the vaccines and everything.
Yeah, and then obviously they from the start, like summer, they say it's less.
Yeah, definitely
less chance of catching COVID just because you're outside. So
yeah,
I wonder.
Yeah, Alice still haven't announced. I really thought it was going to be like a sort of we drop that episode, then it gets announced.
Yeah,
I like that. I literally uploaded that snippet so soon afterwards because I was like, man, they might announce the dates like fucking tomorrow.
They're clinging on, boy.
They've got 8 days. They said lineup coming this month. There's 8 days of February left, so presumably this week we'll get something.
Yeah,
who knows? Maybe by the next pod, we'll.
Yeah. On the next.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I think everyone else is announced. I think like Reading and Leeds and.
Because Park Life is announced.
Yeah, because that's 50% in that.
It's like the big ones like Glasgow.
I think so. I think like Reading and Leeds is. I could be wrong.
Do you ever get that anxiety where you open up your browser and you think certain websites are going to be
it's going to appear on camera? They're going to see the reflection in your face.
Billie Eilish.
I was going to say, isn't it Billie Eilish?
But is that all they've announced? There's no other names on the thing. I knew it just says Billie Eilish. That's all you need. Billie Eilish. All you need, mate.
I'm withdrawing my performance from Glastonbury this year because until she apologises.
Oh no! Here we go. Kendrick.
Wild.
Is that real?
Who is it? Daniel Mirror. Oh.
It says Paul McCartney, apparently alongside Billie Eilish and Kendrick Lamar. That's quite a fucking.
That's an interesting. That's an eclectic line.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense though. Billie Eilish, she's like big at the moment.
Yeah, she's massive. She's kind of like in the middle of a couple of genres.
Yeah, like she's got crossover appeal.
Yeah, then obviously Kendrick. And then Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
That's quite diverse.
For the old heads.
Yeah.
Yo, who you here for? Oh, Billie Eilish. What about you? Paul McCartney.
Mate.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, I think Reading and Leeds have announced as well. So yeah. I saw
Reading and Leeds.
Let's see what browser opens on mine. Reading.
They usually have quite a diverse lineup as well, don't they?
Normally, because they've sort of gone from a rock festival to like fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Dave Polo G, Little Sims, Meg Thee Stallion, Arctic Monkeys, Bring Me the Horizon, Jack Harlow, Rage Against the Machine. Yeah, they're quite eclectic.
Fucking hell.
Halsey, Bastille, Run the Jewels. Yeah, they're fucking hella eclectic. As I said, they're sort of in that in between though, innit? Where they were a rock festival and now they're like
kind of trying to be a bit trendy.
Yeah. Which is funny because that festival in America is like making huge news because it's just like old throwback, like 2000s punk rock bands.
Oh, really?
Where it's like Paramore,
Blink-182.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like that whole genre. And like everyone's like, oh, sick, like a festival for that. So I don't know. But I suppose Reading and Leeds is like such a big festival. They need that more generic rather than a niche. I saw that Strawberries and Cream Festival announced as well. They've got Thames, I think, as their headliner. Who's obviously like, that's a good headliner, man, for this year.
Thames, yeah, she's quite.
I'm sticking by WizKid Wireless. That is my prediction.
I think that's it needs to happen. Yeah, him. Put Burna Boy on there.
Put everyone.
Coffee.
I want to hear everyone. I just want to vibe. I want to hear the whole Shoreditch DJ set list.
Yeah,
just,
for real. On loop.
Just that lineup.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have any more. I don't have any more topics.
I think we can.
We'll end it there.
Resume it next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this week.
Well,
yeah. It's coming. By the time this goes up this week. So yeah, we're filming
Thursday. Yeah.
Okay. So when you're watching this, it will probably be Wednesday. So we're doing a double bill this week because of the storm. They know. I'll be fair. Early on, I was like concerned. I was like, I'm not sure how much we're getting out of this.
That's how good our podcast is. Even the weather patterns up.
Honestly,
just so they can hear what we have
they
to
were
say.
listening. They're like, "Right, these boys are spitting."
You know.
So yeah, you'll get an episode Wednesday and then another episode Saturday. So make sure once again you're following us, subscribed, whatever. It's Don't Start, and then in brackets, a podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Anchor, and we also have an Instagram and TikTok. They're just Don't Start a Podcast, all one word. We put up like silly snippets and stuff on there. So tell your friends.
That's it. Got my Mo Yang account as well.
Oh yeah.
Minecraft
and my Club Penguin.
Habbo Hotel.
In the metaverse.
yeah, for real.
And so yes, please follow, like, share, do whatever, man. Do your thing.
Do hot takes.
It's a free country.
Every week. We're here.
Get our updated Kanye thoughts every week.
Yeah.
The Kanye West podcast.
Genius podcast.
Remember, STEM player
Winner.
exclusive.
There you are.
All right, so thank you for listening, and
peace.
I don't know, we'll catch you whenever. Maybe
Peace.
you'll never listen again.